G'day folks, it's the Maple Monkey here again with another Marvel United X-Men playthrough. And yeah, I've really been enjoying doing these, so I hope you guys are too. So I've looked through some of the comments, and I think this one was from a little while back. Someone asked to see maybe Longshot and Spiral, and I remember thinking that Longshot was one of my favorite heroes in the like in terms of the models. I really like this guy. I really like the movement. I don't know if you can sort of pick that up. The screen's a bit dark there, but as he's sort of leaping over the wall there, I just really like the way they've captured that sort of movement in the pose there and throwing the daggers there. So I thought he'd be a cool one to try out. I didn't know a lot about him, but I did know that Spiral, looking at all her different iterations in this game, looked pretty interesting, and in particular the villain looked pretty cool too, like the way she's got this sort of different track and a different sort of mission, changes things up again as well. So yeah, I thought those two would be interesting to put together, and I sort of did a little bit of digging and some very cursory sort of research into the characters, and I thought it'd be interesting to have, I did think it would be cool to actually have the two characters working together as both as heroes. But then I sort of read up a little bit more about how Dazzler also has a bit sort of to do with Longshot as well. So I thought that'd be an interesting sort of little, almost like a little love triangle there. So we've got Dazzler. I don't know much about her. I just remember she was a character who was in the old arcade game, I think. And I always thought she looked a little bit like Jubilee, but you know, her powers, she sort of shoots little popping dazzly light sort of things and stuff like that. So I thought they were kind of similar. So didn't really know much more about her, but she seems like she's got a connection with Longshot in the comics. And then I thought, well, if we're going to chuck a third person in, why don't we chuck Shatterstar in, because there seemed to be some sort of connection with him. I think there was some suggestion that he might be like their child or something, but then I don't think they got shot down, I'm not sure, but they all seem to have a little star symbol on them, so I think they're sort of connected somehow. Anyway, he seemed like an interesting character as well. So those are the three I've chosen, and then I thought, yeah, we'll use Spiral as the villain, and see how that goes. And seeing how she's got a little bit of a tie, or quite a big tie, with that Mojo verse, I decided that we'd probably make that the villain starting location as well. It's a bit of a shame we didn't have these characters when we played against Mojo the other day. I hadn't really sort of done any research about that, so yeah, it's a bit of a missed opportunity there, but I still think this will be a fun mix-up, hopefully. So yeah, so we've got Longshot, Shatterstar, and Dazzler teaming up against Spiral, so we'll go with that. I'll just take you through the other locations we've got here. I think with a lot of the videos I've done, we've started to see a few repeats and stuff, and there are a few other ones that are like hazardous locations that I'm a bit sort of hesitant to put in. I don't want to sort of mess things up too much, but yeah, hopefully some of these will be a little bit different, or at least a different combination than we've had before. So we've got Mojoverse, Cape Citadel, Deadpool's apartment, I think it's Chandelier, Island M, and the Hellfire Club building. Those are the locations we'll have to start with, and we're starting in Chandelier. We may as well take you through Spiral here. Interestingly, with the heroes, we don't have any heroes with starting hand, so I can just draw my hand up at the beginning of the game sort of thing and get started with that, but we don't have to worry about having any starting hand cards there. Just before I show you this mission card, I'll just quickly take you through Spiral's villain dashboard here. So you can see on the back there it says replace the standard mission, or the standard 3 missions, or 3 standard missions, mission cards with the special mission dashboard, break the spell, which we've got down the bottom there. Any effect that affects 3 standard missions, or the 3 standard missions, affect the special mission instead. So I guess if we've got some effects that can mess with the missions, we can use that here. You've got your supervillain additions there. We'll go through this a little bit, or just shortly. I just wanted to show you this special mission here. So it's called Break the Spell. There's actually another thing that's really interesting about her character is she gives you, especially if you've invested in I think the gold and the or gold, either the gold or the blue teams, or both, and you've got that team versus team mode. She actually gives you another variant to play in that team versus team mode, which not a lot of the other hero, or not a lot of the other villains seem to do. So this is quite an interesting character. If she makes it a little bit more worthwhile to get those team versus team expansions here. So she gives you a special sort of version of break the spell for the team versus team mode, and I guess that's just to balance out how that works. So you're not all adding to the same track if you're playing the team versus team mode. You sort of have your own separate tracks or something. So the idea behind her is that to complete the mission, heroes must fill all the slots going along here, placing rescued civilians or defeated thugs or cleared missions following the order in the sequence. So if I want to do this as efficiently as possible, I need to rescue a civilian, then defeat 2 thugs, and by that time be ready to clear another threat, and so on and so on. So, let's have a look here. If a civilian is rescued or a thug is defeated or a mission is cleared, but it doesn't match the first empty slot in the sequence, then it's discarded, so it's a bit sort of wasted there. But as you'll see, there's reasons that you might be wanting to sort of discard some of them because you just don't want the places overflowing either. So, and some of these effects are pretty nasty too. So even if it's not in your best interest to clear a threat immediately on the chart, it might be worth it just because of the negative effect it gives you. So I can already see this is probably going to go downhill pretty quick. So this looks like quite a hard mission. We'll see how we go. I'm not sure what these little symbols here equate to on the track. I know that there are these are sort of like these spell symbols that are on her main dashboard as well, but they seem to refer to her master plan cards, and I'm not sure how they tie in on this chart here. So this is almost, I think, maybe potentially just sort of decorative here, I think. So anyway, yeah, there you go. So if I get all the way to the end of the track there, I count as completing this mission. So really, instead of having 3 separate little mini missions, you've got one big mission. I'm not sure how that relates to this track here, though, in terms of the putting the villain under pressure, being vulnerable to damage, and drawing a card. That might be explained a little bit here, and I might have just skipped over it, but I think the idea is if we complete this, we just remove this whole board, and therefore we sort of trigger all of these sort of instantly. That's my impression of it. So we'll pop that back down there. So Spiral's going to start with 5 health because we've got 3 heroes. Again, I'm playing with the Xavier mode for the solo mode. She's got this little villain power cube thing here, which we're going to put on the villainous plot on the 0 spot there. I'm just using the one, I think, from the original Marvel set because it's colored blue. Let's have a look here. So, well, let's remove this and bring this back up into focus so you can see what we're talking about. Let's have a look. So her special rules. While the break the spell mission is in place, so that's that big dashboard down there, Spiral can't take any damage. So she's invulnerable until we complete that whole mission. And this is the big, oops, sorry, I hope I'm getting that in focus. This is a big one as well. She cancels all the special effects on hero cards. So none of my hero cards, with all their special powers and stuff, none of those are going to be useful at all whilst this mission is still in place. So that's really going to hamper certain team-ups and things like that. And probably the team-up I've got at the moment is going to suffer a bit from that too, because I've sort of had a brief look through the cards and they look like there's a fair few special cards there. So we'll see how we go. Now, once the break the spell mission is complete, though, Spiral is vulnerable to damage and becomes under pressure. So that's where I think it sort of basically just sort of is telling you specifically that these 2 things count as being sort of completed. So you're sort of at that point where you can start hitting the bad guy, and they start acting faster. Heroes can use special effects on their cards. So this part up here gets removed, and then each hero, oh, here we go, yeah, so each hero draws a card. So yeah, essentially this whole dashboard sort of gets cleared and you get all the effects on there happening at that time. Now, here's an interesting thing as well. When a hero is KO'd, Spiral doesn't activate her BAM. Instead, increase the spell dance track by 1. So this is the spell dance track here. So Villainous Plot spell dance track. When this track reaches the end, the heroes lose. Now, you've got this space down here if you're playing with the supervillain mode. But otherwise, it's just this space here. So that's not very far to go there. So I'm really hoping these don't trigger that often. Because otherwise, if she's triggering this every time she BAMs or whatever, then that's going to be quite nasty, especially if she's also doing it when we get KO'd. So we'll see how we go. I'm not sure how this is going to play out, but you can see here are these symbols again that appear on the dance track, but I think again they're decorative on that track. It says here, if the symbol on the master plan card, so it's not talking about the mission track there, it's talking about the master plan cards. If the symbol on the master plan card matches one of the symbols on the next slot in the spell dance track, so that's this track, not the track on the other one, then increase the track by 1. So that's what happens if she BAMs. So this only happens if she BAMs. I wonder if these symbols only occur on the BAM cards as well. I'm not sure, but if the card that I flip over has a BAM on it, then we check the card to see if it's got the master plan, see if it's got the spell symbol matching this one, and if it does, we increase it. Deal 1 damage to each hero in her location as well. So she does that if she BAMs. Okay, so hopefully we can get lucky with these, but I don't know. We'll see how we go. Overflow. So if one or more thugs or civilian tokens can't be added to a location, remove the rightmost token on the break the spell mission. And this is why it's, you might be trying to be as efficient as possible, but sometimes if you're getting full with these locations, that's going to be a real nightmare if you all your progress is being sort of removed if this is happening. So it's almost worth spending a few extra ones getting that done. If the mission is already complete, overflow has no effect. So if I can get the whole mission done, then we don't have to worry about overflow at all. So, but don't know if we're going to get there, but we'll see how we go. Let's pop that back down. We'll set her up on the 0 space with her 5 health. There we go. Now this is also, so you've already seen that's going to be quite tricky. We also have these location effects, or these threat effects as well. So we've got 2 of these concussing spells. Heroes starting their turn in this location, and all of these are to do with starting your turn rather than ending your turn on these locations. So heroes starting their turn in this location with 2 or more cards in hand must discard a card to the bottom of their deck. So you're basically taking damage every time you start in one of these concussing spots. And this happens before the draw step. So that can sort of KO you, I guess, before you're ready to go. So that's quite nasty. So you really want to be getting rid of this early, but if you get rid of it before you can actually put the token down there, it's a bit of a waste. So that's tricky. And we've got 2 of those. So that's concussing and concussing. That's the Hellfire and the Deadpool's apartment there. We also have paralyzing spells. So this is heroes starting their turn. Whoopsie, let's get it in frame. Heroes starting their turn in this location must ignore 1 action symbol at the bottom of the hero card. So again, that's really nasty, and especially if you're sort of being starved for these, you want to be able to spend them to get this track happening quickly, and you want to spend them to get rid of the guys in those slots on the location, so you're not getting sort of overflows. This is going to make that really tricky as well, so that's not great. We are starting on one of those, so that's in the Chandelier and Island M, and the last one is in Cape Citadel and Mojoverse. And you can see that says heroes starting in their turn in this location must discard 1 action token if they have any. So that's probably the least detrimental in that sense of, well, if you don't have any action tokens, that's not really affecting you at all. So I really would have preferred to have started in the location with that, but that's not how the cards came out. But anyway, so you've got those 2 there. And if you have a character like, say, Gambit, who relies on having action tokens and things like that, that could be quite nasty as well. Okay, so that's our locations, that's our setup. We've got Spiral sitting in Mojoverse, so we're almost ready to take her on. There's just one last wrinkle, I believe. I think I've shown everything else. One last wrinkle is that you might have noticed that we've got Deadpool's apartment here, and that's because I've decided to sort of throw something else in the mix here and to show off some more of the expansion content and that sort of thing, is I thought I'd throw in Deadpool, but not as a character, but as the Deadpool challenge. So what we have here, we've got the Deadpool challenge model. So he's riding a little unicorn. Oh, the lighting's really bad tonight. Okay, and there we go. Hopefully you can sort of just make that out. Ugh. There we go. He's holding one of the little power cubes there. So he is going to be sort of operating off this deck here. So I'm not going to reveal this yet, but this is the Deadpool Chaos Challenge deck, I think, or the Deadpool Chaos deck. And that's going to sit off to the side. So I'll just put it here for now because I don't know if we're going to get all the way around to that point. Hopefully I either win or by that point it might be too late. So I'm going to put him there for the moment. And what we're going to do, we're going to use this challenge card. So this is just one of the challenge cards. And it says here, I like that he's taped it over the face of Wolverine. They're just another dig at Hugh Jackman. So let's have a look. Deadpool Chaos Challenge. Drop this card on the table and place Deadpool in the location that the arrow is pointing at. Anytime a villain ends their movement or a hero ends their turn in Deadpool's location, draw the top card of the Deadpool Chaos deck and resolve it. And I believe, I haven't really read through them too much, but I've sort of read the rules in the little leaflet in the Deadpool box. And I believe that these can be beneficial or detrimental to either, the hero or the villain, depending on just the random nature of that deck. So some of them are going to help, some of them are going to hinder, and depending on which character's triggering it, the bad guys or the good guys, that's going to affect things as well. So this is going to be a real chaotic game because of this card here. So anytime a villain ends their movement or a hero ends their turn, draw the top card of the Deadpool Chaos deck and resolve it. Okay, and I believe there's some specific rules about timing with that. In the hero's turn, it happens before triggering the end of turn effect of the location, which is something we had a question about, I think, in the last game or the game before. There was a question about the timing of when some effects occurred in terms of the location effects and some other effect as well. So in this one, it specifically points out that you do the chaos effect first. Then in the hero's turn, it specifically states, I think, does it state? I think it states before their hero master plan card effect. I'll just double check that. No, so that's after. So for the hero, it's after their location effect. So that effect where you got a little picture of the little arrow pointing at the target spot, it happens after that. So, okay, well, let's get started. We'll drop the Deadpool card on the table. So I guess I'll just hold it up. And can you see my hand there? And I'll just sort of chuck it. Okay, and it looks like it's pointing at, well, that makes sense. Pointing at Deadpool's apartment. So we'll start Deadpool in this spot here. So anyone going there, the heroes or villains, we could trigger a good or a bad effect. So see how we go. We'll leave his deck there. We'll draw up our cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the villain Spiral's going to get her turn before we draw our 6th card. So let's just have a quick look at our hand before we start the game. So we've got a bunch of Dazzler and then one each of the other two. So we've got Dazzler's got a little bit of movement and star effect there. We've got a star. We've got a wild. We've got a healing factor, which is interesting. So you may draw cards until you have 3 in your hand, which is great, but that's basically sort of blank until we can get rid of this mission here. So essentially we have a hand of 1 symbols, which is not great because of the location that we're in at the moment. And even if we use this, we're sort of wasting one of the symbols there. So anyways, but that's the nature of this game. So we're going to have to, we're still going to be starved for action points, I think, in this one. So we'll just have to sort of make do. So that's our starting hand. I'll take a seat and we'll see what Spiral does on her first turn. Okay, so hopefully that wasn't too, put that over there. hopefully that wasn't too long-winded intro to the game, and let's get into it. So we've got our hand of cards here, and Spiral. Let's see, is there anything else I forgot here? I think we're all good. Let's see what Spiral does. So she is going to, so you can see her card there. Hopefully I'm holding that in the right spot. So she's going to move forward. Here she comes. She's going to go clockwise 1. Then unfortunately she's going to bam, and unfortunately straight up the first symbol, we've got a little star there, and you can see the first symbol here is either a 4-pointed star or a, what was that, a 3, 6, 8-pointed star, I think it is. So that does match, so that goes forward. And then she's going to deal damage to anyone that's there. There's no one there. Oh, jeez. Okay, and I've just read the bottom effect too. So she's now going to add a civilian to every location. So wow, she's got more cards like that. These things are going to fill up real quick. All right, well, let's get into it. So she's popping 1 down here. I suppose there'll be plenty, like, sometimes you have these missions and you're sort of starved for these guys. You need to sort of rescue them to do the missions, but they're just not in the locations, and you run out of things to use your effects on. But in this case, let's see, I put 1 here, put 1 here, let's put another 1 here, and I think we're going to put 1 more down. Okay. I sometimes get a bit confused with that, I forget, oh, if I put 1 out here, if I put 1 out here, so I've got to sort of concentrate. All right, so, oh boy. Now, did she do anything else? So she's moved forward, she's bammed. Do 1 damage, no, okay. All right, well, let's get into it. So we've got to draw a card. So it's another Dazzler. Oh, we've got another Dazzler coming as well. So it's all Dazzler at the moment. So we've got to sort of think about that as well. I mean, do we want to see what Deadpool can bring to the party, or what have we got to do? We want to be rescuing and doing a bit of punching and then clearing a symbol. So we don't have a lot of punch power here. We've got some wilds, and also if we're starting where we're starting and not doing anything about that location, then let's ignore 1 action symbol. So we're gonna be starved for action symbols here too. So my goodness. Oh gosh, it seems like a waste. I sort of want to spread the characters out so the Spiral lands on them. She doesn't get to sort of, do 3 damage to me in 1 go. So I might, as much as this hurts to do, I'm going to pop Dazzler down. I'm going to use my movement to move Dazzler over here, because there's still some stuff over here I can do in my next couple of turns in terms of like trying to increase this track. So that's it feels like a waste, but that's what I'm going to do now. Now, the next card I'm going to play is I've got to draw a card, don't I? Yep, I always forget to do that. Oh, here we go. Here's an interesting card. We won't be able to use the top effect at the moment, but let's see what it says. Sound conversion. Gain punch tokens equal to the number of... Ooh, that would have been awesome to have... yeah, that would have been awesome to be able to use now, but we can't do that. So, yeah, gain punch tokens equal to the number of civilians in your location. I realised I never finished the end of that sentence, but hopefully you were able to read it if I put it in the right spot. I'm going to pop this one down though. So this will allow us, I don't need to move Dazzler again, or I'm not planning to. So what I'm going to do now is use the star and the punch. So this way I can rescue this civilian and pop it on the track here, and then punch this thug and pop that on the track. So we're 2 spaces into the track. Then hopefully in the next, with my next card, I'll see what I'm drawing a Shatterstar here, 1 too, but this will allow me to use this punch again, so I'll be able to get the next villain underway, and then I can start working on the threat. So that's the plan. Let's see, another one with these cool effects. I'm going to have a whole hand of these effects that I'm not going to want to play. That one says vibratory shockwaves. You may discard a card from your hand to the bottom of your deck to punch 3 times, split as you like in your and adjacent locations. Wow, that's super versatile, but you got to discard a card from hand. So you got to take some damage to do that. Okay, and it gives you a movement. Still, all right, so we've got 6 cards. Now, so what do we need to do? We need to, so we're gonna get the punch, so we don't need to worry about what we're doing after that. Oh, hold on. Oh yes, I just want to point out too, I was able to use both of those symbols in the second turn because I'm still in one of these locations where I have to ignore an action symbol, but because Dazzler wasn't moving, I was ignoring the movement symbol. I don't know if I pointed that out, but that was what I was thinking in my head. All right, so again, I want to sort of get onto this clearing of this thing and clearing some of these threats too. So I don't think I want to move with Dazzle, so that way, oh, okay, let's see. I want to put something out where I can punch and do something else, but unfortunately, looking at my cards here, they're all, yeah, that's a shame. They're all just one symbol. So either way, I'm only going to get to do one thing here. So what I might do, I might put this star out there, because that's all I've got, right? I mean, I probably should put no, I know I need to do stars because we're going to be hitting a threat soon. So I'm going to put the star out. I'm going to use the punch to pop that down, and hopefully she doesn't remove that. Hopefully we don't get any overflows happening now, because there's a few spots that are getting close to overflows. I'm almost thinking maybe I should have used, long shot or maybe I'll use long shot or shatter star. Yeah, all right, I'm gonna, it feels like a bit of a waste, but I'm gonna use one of these ability cards instead of Dazzlers. Use shatter star instead. So I still have to lose one of the actions. So again, I'm playing that one out so that hopefully I can use this star later on, but I'm going to punch instead in Shatterstar's location just so I can drop that location down a little bit. So there's 2 missing spots. So if she drops 2 civilians, it's not going to be as painful. In theory, that's my plan anyway. So now I need to start concentrating on getting rid of at least one of the threat locations too. Okay, so we'll see what she does. Oh, she's moving 5. All right. Okay, let's have a look. Let's do this. So she's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, back to Mojoverse. Then she's going to bam, and she's doing that clockwise, and then she's going to bam. So what does she do? So I probably should hold this up so you can see that. So you can see she's bamming. That symbol that she's got there is the little 4-pointed star. The next one on the track is a circle. So we've lucked out there. So we don't have to worry about that. Then she's going to damage anyone who's there. There's no one there, so we're lucky with that. But then she does the spiral dance. So I'm really hoping, whenever there's a lot of text, I get scared. Here we go. After checking the symbol on this card to see if the spell dance track advances, check the symbol on the previous master plan card. Oh, God. Yep. And we know that one had... Oh, hold on. No. Wait a second. Okay. So I was thinking, oh, well, we know that the previous one made us go forward, but we're still looking at this spot here. So that's a circle, and we know that here we had the other 8-pointed star. So luckily, we got away with that one. So that could have advanced it twice if that symbol had been a star or one of those double spots. Yeah, if it had been the next spot, that would have been really nasty. She would have gone up twice. Okay, so we got away with one there, didn't we? All right, let's see. We've got to make use of that. All right, so we're still starved for these spots. I almost feel like we need to get out of these spots so we can start clearing a threat in a more advantageous spot. So that might be something worth thinking about too. So I've just drawn a new card. It's just a movement and a punch there. So we need stars, ideally, or movement. Movement to sort of get ourselves to a different spot. Concussing, we don't want to lose cards though. I sort of want to get up to one of these spots. Maybe we could try out Deadpool and see if Deadpool's willing to help us out or hurt us. But these concussing spots, I'm not really happy with that. So let's see. I sort of want to get out of these spots to clear one of these other threats, but I sort of want to clear these threats because they're so nasty. So what could we do if we put down? See, this spot is full though, isn't it? Boy. All right, well, let's take, boy, oh boy, what are we going to need? We're going to need to rescue a person too. So I've got a star, I've got a movement. So why don't we, geez Louise, why don't we move Dazzler? So we'll use one symbol there to move. Then we're going to use a star, or are we going to punch? We're going to use a star, so we're going to use the heroic to pop that heroic symbol down there. And that's all we can do because we can't punch a thug because we started our turn in this location, so we can't do that. Then I need to draw a card. Right, now the next thing I want to do is, how can I get a couple of stars happening here? I just need 2 stars. I've got a movement, a punch. It's, long shot can do some moving and starring. That's not going to help though. So does she have a star? She's got a star here. Alright, let's put this star down. So I can use any of these 3. So I'm starting, oh, hold on a second. Oh, I should have, I think I just drew a long shot card. I think I drew this one here. So I'm going to put this one back. I think that's the one I drew. Apologies if that's not correct, because I was supposed to discard a card to the bottom of my deck before drawing. So, well, this movement one at the moment, and actually, you know what? I'm going to get rid of Dazzler's movement one with the ability, because the ability is not helping me at the moment. Maybe that'll come back later. So, and that just gives me an option to use long shot if I need to. Now I draw a long shots card, and I'm going to use Dazzler's card like I said. Pop that one down. So I'm starting my turn. I'm starting the turn here. Sorry, I'm starting the turn here. I had to lose a card. I can now use all my symbols though. So I'm going to use the heroic there, and I'm going to use the punch to get rid of this thug. Now, unfortunately, the thug doesn't go down on the track, but I just wanted to sort of clear that up a little bit, just so there's a bit of room on that location, because I don't want to start backtracking on this if I can help it. Righty then, so let's see. And then I could move. Interesting. If I move, interesting. So here's a challenge. I could move here. Oh, because she's not going to go yet, is she? I've got one more turn. What have I got in my hand? I've got a movement and I've got a star. That's all I need at the moment. But it's long shots movement. got Dazzler, and that could be a movement. Interesting. I think what I'm going to do is move her to this spot here, because this location is not going to affect me as badly as this. This is, if I start here, I'm not going to have to waste action points. So I'm going to move here, say hello to Spiral, and then I think this is right. I think I haven't cheated, so I'm moving. Wait, what happened there? What turn is it? Oh yes, that's right, I've got to play this card to do this. Okay. Oh no, sorry, okay. Sorry, I'm getting all confused. Sorry, this movement that I'm doing here is at the end of the turn that I just started here, so I'm moving over to here using that movement. And yes, that's what I'm doing. So now, new turn, I have to draw a card. I've got another long shot card, probability manipulation. So here you go. This is sort of his bag. He does all this probability stuff. He's super lucky. Look at the top 3 cards of the master plan deck, then place them back in any order, on top in any order. Wow, that's super handy. Again, if I could use these cards, this would be great. I feel like these characters have some really powerful cards, and I can't use any of them. This is an interesting scenario with Spiral. She really sort of jams you up. All right, so I did need to, what I need to do is I need to get a movement, and it needs to be Dazzler, because she's the only one sort of near enough to do this. So I've got a handful of Dazzler cards at the moment, so I may as well use it. So she's going to move back over here. So I'm starting my location here. I would have to discard an action token. I don't have action tokens. So I'm moving back over here. Then I'm going to use the final heroic here to remove this location. 1, 2, 3, or this threat, I should say. So we'll get rid of this threat, pop that down over there, and we can remove this, and that goes on this spot here. So I'm 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got to get another 8, 9 of these tokens down. So, okay. Now that I'm out of this spot, at least with her, that's all right, but I do have to get these guys out of here. Now it says at the end of my turn, I may discard a card from hand to the bottom of my deck, so I can take a damage to defeat 1 henchman in any location. This is not considered clearing a threat. Oh, 1 henchman, okay. Henchmen are the big characters that sit on these. They're basically threats. I was thinking it was thugs. I was like, what are you talking about, clearing a threat? So that's interesting. Okay, so that sounds super powerful, but it's not considered clearing a threat. So if you did it, you would still leave that token on there. So you've got to be careful not doing that too much. Otherwise, you'd leave yourself unable to, because the card's removed and then this is still sitting there, then you're unable to complete that third mission, or that mission card. That's an interesting one. All right, well that's useless in this game. At least it's not a negative hazardous effect, I guess. Okay. I've got my 4 cards. I think that's right. Because I've taken that 1 damage from the concussive place. So at least we got rid of that one now. So, oh, wait a minute, what have I done? I've taken the symbol from the wrong spot, haven't I? There we go. So, Spiral is going to tell us what she thinks about that turn. All right. And we'll have to make some plans. I'm not really sure. I haven't really thought about what I'm going to do next, but I guess I'm looking for rescuing civilians and doing some more punching. So, oh, good thing. Okay, I was worried. What I was worried about was that she was going to not move and then I'd be stuck there. So I wanted to move back again. Luckily, I had that extra turn to do so. So we got lucky there. All right, teleport innocence. Oh, okay. Good thing we've been clearing some of these because they're going to start filling up again. All right, so Spiral's going to stay where she is. She's going to bam. So she is going to look for the 4-pointed star symbol. Luckily, we got lucky with that one again. There's no one in her location, so we got lucky again, and she's going to add some more civilians. So this is where it could hurt if we can't deal with these quick enough. Alright, so where are the locations that are the most serious? We're going to start moving around and clearing some of these out. I think this one. So one here, one here, one here, one here. Did I put one down there? I'm not sure. Rose reverse. I thought I started with her location, but I'm not sure. I think I started with her location. Apologies if I'm cheating there. I'm not sure if I put that start in there. Did I beat up a thug or did I rescue someone when I went in there? Why else would I have gone in there? Maybe I rescued someone there. Not sure. Alright. Okay. This is probably the bit that I get confused with the most, is just all the little hero and civilian and thug tokens. Sometimes I get a bit sort of lose a bit of track there with those. Okay. Well, what have we got? 4 in our hand. We'll draw another one. So it's going to be all interesting. We don't have any Dazzler, so she's kind of stuck there, not doing anything at the moment, that's problematic because that's full up and this one's full up. So Shatterstar and Longshot, like, they're going to need to do some moving or something, and they're stuck in this paralyzing spot too. So what have we got? We've got a wild, and all right, well, let's use this one since it's got a lot of symbols on it, so at least we can get 2 symbols out of this. So what are we trying to do? We're trying to rescue someone. Well, let's head this way. Should we head this way so we can see what Deadpool does? I feel like the safer bet would be heading this way, trying to get over to this spot, but wait, is this Longshot or who are we using? Longshot, okay. It's got to rescue people, and then we've got to punch someone. So if I head here, no, I don't want to head here because there's no one to punch. So I do want to go this way. So I think what I want to do is maybe, he's there, so maybe I won't worry about this spot because I can, while he's still there, I can help out there. I'm going to use my movement to come over this way. I'm going to use the heroic symbol there to move that track up, but then I'm going to have to waste this ability because of the fact I've started on a paralyzing spot. Right, okay, then I draw another card, and I have to, that's good. Maybe I'll do that. I'll use Dazzler, and this is good too because I'm starting with Dazzler and she's not in paralyzing location, so that's just a double wild there, which is handy. So yeah, let's see what she can do. So she can, what do I need to do? Punch. So she can use these 2 wilds as punches. Oh no, there's only, okay, no, this still works. Okay, so I can punch this location. Okay. Okay, this would have been even better if I could have done it slightly differently, because I'm going to use this movement now to move into this spot. Get rid of these, or do I move into this spot and punch? So punch the one dude in this location. No, what I'm going to do, I'm going to move over here. Hopefully the spiral moves out of the way soon. Alright, so I'm going to move with Dazzler. So she's done 1 punch. She's going to move in here. She's going to not rescue that civilian. She's going to do the 2nd punch using the wild. So that gets rid of this guy. And then she's going to use her heroic there from Longshot to place that one down. So now I'm after shutting down these threats again. Okay. Right. So that was the 3rd. That was the 2nd turn. Now I need to draw another card, and I just need to consider, okay, I can't, so I've risked Dazzler there. She's now hoping that Spiral moves. Otherwise she's going to take some damage, but let's have a look here. Which places are getting full up? This place is full. I've got to get someone over there, don't I? And I need to start. Okay. Wow. So what did I just draw? I just drew a Shatter Star, and he's just got a bit of movement and that sort of stuff there. So, right. Need to clear a threat. I could start. Oh, I need to get over here. I don't want to be losing these because then I've got to rescue another civilian. I need to. Oh boy, and there's 2 spaces here, and the problem is if I do a threat and then one of them gets bumped up, then I've got to do a whole new threat again too. All right, Shatterstar, what are you going to do, buddy? I can't do much about that. Long shot, Shatterstar. If I start with long shot or Shatterstar, either one of them, I'm only going to get, if I use this one, let's see, Shatterstar, if I use that, that at least gives me 3 actions I can do. So I could double star and punch and not use the movement. Is that the play? I need to get rid of these spots though, but yeah, you know what? Let's do this. So I'm going to double heroic. I'm going to punch out this thug, which just goes to the side there. And hopefully what that means now, if that's my last card, hopefully that means I can if she does overflow in one of these locations, it's just going to remove the civilian and possibly the thug and not cost me a whole threat there. And then hopefully I can sort of deal with that and finish off those threats. So that's my thinking behind that. We'll see how that plays out. Okay, and I've got to think about, I've got Shatterstar and I've only got long shots as well. I need one more heroic, which I don't have a lot of heroic in my hand here. So we'll see what happens. Spiral is going to move 1, so she's going to head over here. She's going to look for a star, which she doesn't see. Then she does the spiral dance, so she looks back. I think we've seen this one before, haven't we? After checking the symbol on the card, she looks back at the previous master plan card, which was a 4-pointed star. So that doesn't activate the circle either. So we've got a bit lucky there. And then she doesn't add any more. Oh, we got really lucky. She doesn't add any more civilians or anything. Right. So we've got to capitalize on that, don't we? So now we need to get cracking with this this spot here, and then get a few more done so that if they get backtracked, they're not a mission. So and we've got to do that whilst clearing some of these because they're getting a bit full. So we'll draw a card. It's another long shot. It's all long shot in Shatterstar for a while, isn't it? Luckily, Dazzler's kind of safe up there at the moment. So we'll start with long shot, I guess, because no, not long shot. Sorry, Shatterstar, because we want to deal with this, I guess. We'll leave long shot where he is because he can deal with thugs. Oh no, Shatterstar, we want him to deal with thugs too. Let's go with Shatterstar then, I guess, because the plan is for him to be able to finish off this mission and then maybe move and do the punch on a thug too. So We've only got 3 actions if we use this for Shatterstar, and that's a shame using that. What if we did it with Longshot instead? Shatterstar. What do we want him to do? No, maybe we save this, so maybe we go with... Alright, let's do this. Let's go Shatterstar. This could completely derail us here. I feel like this is playing with fire. But I'm going to pop... So we've... Oh no, hold on, but I've got no stars there if I do that. I need to play someone with a star. Why did I think Shatterstar was going to be able to do a star? No, you can't do that. Okay. Let's pop that back. So we are going to have to go with Longshot. Okay. Starting in this spot. So we may as well use a big one. Here we go. So he's going to jump in. He's going to use one of his movement to get in here. He's going to use his star to get rid of this. Use this heroic action. That clears this threat here, pops that there. And so he's used the star, he's used the movement. Now, what I could do, I could use that. I'm going to have to lose one of these actions, but I could, since there's nothing to punch, I could have punched here and just sort of cleared that location, but I don't know. All right. I can discard tokens here. So this location here says you may discard one of any of the 3 different base tokens, so not the wild, but you can discard one movement or heroic or punch action, or token, to gain any combination of 2 punch, movement, or heroic action. So you can sort of, I guess, double your tokens and sort of, cycle through them, but you have to have a token to start with, and I don't have one, so that's a bit of a shame. But otherwise you could build up a bit of an engine there, couldn't you? That's pretty good. I'm just wondering, do I move here? Because I put Deadpool into the mix here, but unless I've missed something, I don't think Spiral has landed on this spot yet, and I've purposely sort of been avoiding that spot. So I almost feel like I shouldn't do that, but I do want to get closer to this. Thug so I can beat up the thug. But this is a concussive spot too, so I'm going to lose cards if I do this as well. So I don't know if that's a great idea. Let's do it. Okay, so Longshot's going to jump in. Now, they tell me Longshot's lucky, so I'm hoping this is going to pay off. Okay. So Longshot is going to use that second movement to get there, just so we can get some more movement happening and maybe do a punch in the next spot. But do I have any punches? I don't have any punches. I'm sort of relying on... No, there's no real reason to go in there because I don't have a punch. So even if I move towards this guy, what I could do... Oh no. So I could move back here, but maybe it's worth just staying here and seeing what I can do. Alright, I think I'll just stay. And then hope I get a punch or something with old mate here, Shatterstar. Oh, that'll do. Shatterstar's got a couple of options there. So I think we've got to go for it, right? We've got to churn through these as quick as we can. So let's put Shatterstar in. Because we're starting in a safe location too, so why don't we've got all of these options here, so we can do 1 star, a 2nd star, so 2 heroics. Oh no, but we need to do the punch first. Oh, that's a shame. Well, here's what we can do. We can do the movement. We can take out that 1 punch there. That's a shame. Then we can use one of the wilds for a movement to get back into this spot, and the final wild to do one heroic there. One heroic action to rescue the civilian. So now we're just looking at rescuing civilians and clearing threats. So what we really need is some movement to get to these threats, and we need lots of heroic stuff now. And we potentially need Dazzler, so we don't have to be moving to these spots. We need some Dazzler cards as well, maybe. Alright. So, alright, that was hand. Okay, so that was that card there. Now I've got, so that's giving us some options. I've got to draw one more card, I believe. It's another healing factor card. So none of these have multiple actions here, so I'm going to be a bit starved for these, but we'll just see how we go. I've got to do one more rescue, and then I've got to start working on these. So, what have I got? Shatterstar or Long Shot? Let's do Long Shot so we can use his movements. And then he's got some stars as well, so we can use those. So, why don't we do a movement? We'll do 2 heroics. So we'll do 1 heroic to rescue a civilian. Then we'll do his movement to do a dive into here, and then he's going to use his last wild to spend a heroic in this spot here. Okay. Then Spiral's going to tell us what she thinks about that. So she's going to go, ooh, oh no, this is not good. Okay, so Spiral is going, let's hold it up to the camera there. Okay, hopefully you can see that. Spiral is going to turn invisible. So she's going to move twice. This is going to hurt in a lot of different ways, I think. So she's going to move once, twice. She doesn't land on Deadpool. Poor Deadpool saying, hey, why don't you use me? She is going to now advance on this track. She is also going to BAM. Well, that is the BAM is she looks at that circle and then she advances the track. Then she's going to deal a damage to me, so I need to lose a card. Ugh. I sort of need all of these, don't I? The probability manipulation. I'm so close to being able to use that. This wild is useful. And I need that star. I need the star. I need the wild. Alright, long shot, that sucks. Alright, so I've got to put that underneath. That's a really good card. Okay. Turning, I still need to clear this too. Alright. Although this is, oh no, this is not good either. Okay, until the next villain turn, heroes can't damage Spiral without first performing at least one star, one heroic. So I've got to do a heroic any turn that I want to damage her. So, okay. And then I also, unfortunately, she's about to put down 2 thugs, and even though this spot is clear, the other spot on either, she's putting them on either side of it. This spot here, Deadpool's place, is that overflow, so that means I have to lose this, and now I'm going to have to do an extra heroic action to clear that thug, and then do the heroics to clear the threat. That's painful. All right, but I think we've been pretty lucky so far, so I shouldn't complain too much. So we got that happening. All right, so now beginning of my turn, we've got Shatterstar, and he's got some variability there, so that's not too bad. All right, what have we got? We've got movement, and we've got a heroic there. Gosh. Well, why don't we use, since it's not hurting us too much here at the moment, why don't we use Long Shot? And he's going to, what did I just draw there? I just drew a wild there, yep. So he's going to use his heroic. We're not going to move with Long Shot, so we have to spend up an action, so that's the one we're going to waste. We're going to put that there. and that is going to put us one closer. Then we draw a card. We've got Dazzlers finally in the mix. Light projection. Gain tokens, heroic tokens, equal to the number of thugs in her location. So this is where she's starts to come into it. So we'll try and hold on to some of those cards for her, hopefully. So now, oh, sorry. Oh, I can do that, can't I? I was going to say I should have used that heroic to rescue a civilian, but I'm going to need to... Okay, what do I do here? So I need to rescue... So what I need to do actually now, there's no civilians there, I need to play a Shatterstar turn, don't I? What's he got? So what I could do is I could use this Wild Shatterstar. I've got 2 actions here, and I'm not starting in a bad location, so I can do this. So I'm going to use 1 to rescue this guy here, and then 1 to do I move? Maybe move, so that I can use Shadows. I use Long Shot. Do I stay there? So rescue there, and then what else am I going to do though? I feel like maybe I should move. Although I could use Shatterstar. I think I'm going to stay there. Then use... Oh, this is interesting. Is this worth doing? Okay, so next turn, last turn before Spiral goes, I just do another healing factor. What I'm thinking of doing is going, let's see if this works. So that turn I stayed where I was, I did a star, and that was a bit of a wasted thing there, because I couldn't have punched, can't punch Spiral. I can't punch her anyway because of that rule that she's got going on, but I'm going to do this now. So Shatterstar. Ooh. Where's that card? I perform at least 1 action. Is this? Oh. I think this works. Okay. So, let's see if my master plan works here. It's all coming together. All right. Moving. Let's do the movement. Okay, so we're going to move into this spot. We're going to use this as a heroic action, which clears this, which removes that, which pops this over here, which completes this mission. Oh, this is good. Right. Then, so that triggers that. Now, she's eligible to be damaged. We can use effects. So this now comes into effect. So I've played these, and I believe I can do these in any order. So now I believe I can trigger this. Now this says you may discard 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck to punch 3 times, split as you like in your and adjacent locations. Spiral is adjacent, so I can now punch her 3 times. This says over here, until the next villain turns, heroes can't damage Spiral without first performing at least 1 heroic action, and I did perform that heroic action to clear the threat. So I believe that's happening. What I've got to check is just see what this effect is, just to see if it changes up, you know, what card I want to discard, whatever it might be. You may discard 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck to gain a wild token. That seems pretty handy to have as well. Okay. And then I just need to check as well, does this affect each hero, it says each hero immediately draws a card. So to me that spells it out. I was going to ask, does this happen at the end of the round in which I do that? But it says immediately. So I believe I draw a card. So each hero, so I'm going to draw just 1 card for each hero. So 1, 2, 3. and that gives me a bit more of a buffer because now I'm going to feel more willing to discard this card because that was going to be a bit nasty, only having 3 cards there. So, all right, that's. I'm sure somewhere I've cheated in there, but that felt pretty good coming up with that. That was. It's been a few games where you guys have probably seen I've just sort of like run into some brick walls and just tried playing some clever plays, but it hasn't really come together, and I've lost the last few games. So I don't know if I'm going to win this one, but that felt pretty good being able to sort of chain that together and have that come out perfectly. I'm just hoping that was perfect and I haven't cheated somehow. Okay, so what did we pick up? We've got a couple of good. Oh, these are great cards, just versatile. So you've got. That's all looking good there. So that's one, both of them from Long Shot. Okay, and then we also have Dazzler has light projection, so it's that same one that I think we've got another one of those as well, don't we? We've got 2 light projections, so she's looking for spots with lots of thugs so she can gain heroic tokens. But at this stage in the game, when we're now focused on taking out Spiral, I don't think that's going to matter too much. In fact, I feel pretty good now. We'll see how she's got one turn where she could mess us up here, but luckily this overflow now, we're not worried about that because if the spell is broken, if the mission is already complete, overflow has no effect. So now she can overflow as much as she wants, and that's not going to hurt us. And really that's sort of the biggest way she hurts us, is just like stopping us from being able to get rid of that mission. So I think we're okay now. You know, she's going to, unless she gets one of those ones that drives this up super fast, I think we're okay. So let's do this. We're going to discard a card from hand. So let's just discard something basic. Should we discard? I mean, Dazzler's pretty far away, but she's going to move now. The only thing is movement of Spiral. If she moves far away over here, it's going to take me a bit of movement to get there to try and finish her off. But I've got a fair amount of movement and versatile stuff with these other characters, and they're not starting in a nasty spot. So I think I'm going to discard a Dazzler card, just because I got 2 of these, and gaining extra light hero tokens, heroic actions with a movement isn't really necessarily what I'm after with her at the moment. So I'll discard that to do 3 punches. So let's see it. Discard 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck to punch 3 times, split as you like in your and adjacent location. So I'm just going to do that damage straight up to Spiral. She's now got 2 health left. Okay. And she is under pressure now, so I need to remember too that she's going to go after every 2 of my actions. So we'll see. What's she going to do now? Oh, hold on. I may discard 1 card from my hand to the bottom of my deck to gain a wild token. Oh, now she could hit me. I don't know what she's got on her deck. She might have something that like hits characters twice or something like that. She could hit me quite a bit here, so I've got quite a few cards in hand. Do I do it? They're all pretty good cards though. I don't think I want to lose these cards, so I'm not going to do that. I've got lots of wilds in my hand, so I don't think that's worth discarding a card. And just in case I need to use Dazzler, although if I use Dazzler with this card, she's not going to do much, is she? Do I do it? Maybe I will do it. Ooh, famous last words. All right, let's give myself another, because I think it's all going to be, here we go, look at that, double punches, so hopefully that'll help us out. Oh, wait a minute. What did I do that for? Why did I just draw another one? Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Sorry, guys. You may discard. I don't know why I was discarding to draw another one. I was discarding to gain a wild token. Sorry, my bad. So where are we going to put these wild tokens? I'll put it on top of the deck. There we go. All right. Spiral. Okay. Can we take her down? We've got her on the ropes. But the famous last words. Let's see what happens. Okay, she's going to move. Okay, she's going to move twice, so she misses us. That's good. 1, 2. She moves clockwise twice. She is going to check for that circle. Okay, so she checks for the circle. And that draws this up because this has a 4-pointed star and a circle on it. So she's getting closer, but luckily, so she's going to add a civilian to every location. But now the good news about this is that it's kind of meaningless. I'm just worried that I've messed this game up with that a couple of turns ago where I wasn't sure if I'd filled up that location and whether that would have made a big difference or not. I suppose it's not close to being overflowing, so maybe it wouldn't have overflowed anyway, so maybe it wouldn't have made a difference. This would overflow, but again, that doesn't affect us. This would overflow, but that doesn't affect us, and I need to put one here as well. Okay, I think we're good. So she's going to go down there. Now, I've got to remember I only get 2 turns to take her out before she's going to go again, but I think I can do it. She's only 1 space away. I've got wild and movement and all sorts of things going. I've got to, yeah, I think I can do this right now. I've got two wilds. I've got my action. Oh, I've got to draw another card, don't I? Yep. Okay, drawing a card. Is that right? Yep. Drawing a card. I got my action token. Oh, and double punt. I mean, I could, you know. Wow. All right. Well, let's do it this way. So let's play this card because this is the one that shows long shot diving over that wall like the pose of the model. So I'll pop that in play. We'll use the movement. There's nothing I have to worry about hampering effects anymore. So long shot is going to leap over the wall. It's been a big team effort, I think, this game actually. It's Shatterstar's had some heroic moments. Dazzler, it was all Dazzler at the beginning. So they've all had their chance to shine, I think. Apologies that dishwasher's going off in the background there. The only person who hasn't had a chance to shine is poor old Deadpool. I almost feel like I should move towards Deadpool just to show that off. Apologies, guys. I was advertising Deadpool and talking him up, and no one went there. I purposely chose not to go there, but I thought the villain would at least land there once, but she just kept bouncing over him. What I might do, well, I've got to stop talking here because I've got to actually finish this turn, don't I? So we dived in with that movement. We'll throw 2 daggers at old Spiral there, and hopefully that sort of knocks her out and we can tie her up and see if we can get us the help she needs to convert her back to her normal self. We didn't end up needing that there, so that was really handy. I suppose it's quite a tricky mission. Down she goes. Spiral is taken out. You know, you're constantly worried about that track and sort of timing that so that if you do get driven back on the track, it's not like a big mission turn, sort of one of the big threat, one of the threat spots. You're wanting to drive that forward as quick as you can, but you're also mindful that you're not sort of like letting these places get full up, and then that's really hard too because you can't be spamming your action cards because these locations are kind of like stopping you from doing it. We sort of went the route of like trying to hang around the ones that soaked up an action point. We sort of avoided the concussive ones for most of the game, but you know that has its own challenge of like just draining you of options with your cards. So that if you don't have many options, then you've got to play crappy sort of cards that don't have a lot of symbols too. So yeah, really interesting. Again, I love the way all of these, and you know, I know this is a big point with this game, Marvel United. It's been said by a lot of reviewers and gamers that it's you know, it's a very simple system, very simple game, but lots of choice. You know, lots of choices, lots of really interesting decision points throughout every turn. You know, what card am I going to combo with this card, and what card do I want to play now that's going to set me up for a more powerful turn next turn. So the system itself is great. And then just the way that the entire game just kind of like gets crunched and twisted and turned around and inside out on itself, and you feel like you're playing a different game, you know, every time. You're sort of within the comfortable setting of the basic framework, but every game has felt really different, and you've got to think about it in a different way, and the puzzle sort of changes up in your head. So yeah, this has been really interesting. But the payoff with this one is that, okay, so which I haven't really done a lot in any games. I don't think I've ever played a game where I've managed to sort of complete all the threats. I've always tried to get 2 of the threats and then take out 2 of the missions and then take out the boss. I always find that I'm sort of like just hanging on at that point, so I don't have time to go for the 3rd mission. But this one sort of, it's a tricky system, but if you can get through it, you automatically get rewarded by having that situation happen. And then I think part of this game, we were super lucky with this track, weren't we? We got sort of hammered a little bit in the first turn, but then we had quite a few turns in a row there where Spiral just didn't, she sort of whiffed on the, looking for those spells. So, yeah, really lucky there. But I feel like we played all right. This felt like this was a super satisfying turn. That's probably my favorite turn in ages in this game. Just feeling really good about, wow, that all came together and I was able to combo it perfectly. So I hope it made sense when I was explaining it. I hope I wasn't cheating, and I hope you guys sort of appreciated seeing a turn like that, because I haven't really given you many turns like that in the previous videos. So yeah, that was a really good one. So thank you to the fans out there, the viewers who suggested some of these characters. They were a lot of fun. I almost feel like I don't want to show off the Deadpool deck and maybe use him again in another turn, but I also feel like, you know, if you've sat through this whole game wanting to see Deadpool, I should show off some of these cards. So I think what we might do, I'll just say, you know, thanks for watching if you don't want to see any more Deadpool stuff, and hope to catch you on another video at some point. But if you do want to see some of the Deadpool cards, I'll just show a smattering of them just to show you what sort of effects they could have. So let's have a look. I'll just get a bit closer to the camera so I can make sure I'm showing you these correctly. Okay, so here we go. So let's have a look. This one says, and I believe every single one of these is different. So saving throw, Deadpool Chaos, saving throw. So each hero player rolls a die. Don't pretend you don't have die available at home. I was actually thinking, should I get some dice out for this game? And I always think, oh no, that's right, this game doesn't use dice. And then I actually thought to myself, I wonder if that random Deadpool deck will make me pull the dice out in the first card. Okay, so don't pretend you don't have die available at home, club, wherever you're playing. Highest roll draws one card. Lowest roll takes damage. See, there you go. Oh, interesting. Wonder how that works with the solo. Like, would I have rolled 3 times for my... It doesn't really matter, does it? Because I'm just drawing a card. So I guess I would have rolled and I would have suffered. I would have taken both. I would have oh, that's interesting. Take a damage and draw a card. So that's an interesting one for solo. I would have basically just drawn a card and then had to... So it's like drawing a card and discarding. It's basically kind of like a cycling card. That's interesting. And then what is that, just a picture? Or is that him? Because I think Deadpool moves at each time you draw one of these, he then changes location. So I wonder if that's a symbol, because we're talking about dice, saving throw, or if there's going to be that dice symbol on each one and he moves randomly each turn. I guess we'll see on the next card. But yeah, okay, so that's that one. And let's see the next one. Okay, so yeah, I guess you roll. So I guess for this one, you roll to see how far he goes around. This one here, he doesn't move at all. Deadpool, surprise party. Move all heroes and villains to Deadpool's location. Each hero draws one card. So move all heroes and villains. So everyone joins up to his location. Each hero draws one card. Each villain gains 2 health. Oh, and may go above the starting value. Again, I don't know if you noticed, but I put out a little stash of health tokens there. I got them out originally because I thought she might have, Spiral might have some henchmen, but she didn't have henchmen. But I thought, oh, I'll just leave these out, and just in case Deadpool adds some health. There you go. So I've been pretty good at guessing these cards so far, so that's good. Wow. Okay. Interesting. So you can see these seem like kind of fun. They're not too devastating. Dog pool. Dog owners gain 1 punch token. Cat owners gain 1 heroic. So we would have got a heroic because we've got a couple of cats here, even though I'm more of a dog person myself. Horse owners gain a movement token. Awesome. Other animal owners draw a card. Wow, so if you've got a terrapin or a newt or something, you can draw a card. Hero players with no animals take it down. Oh, that's fantastic. That's an awesome card. And he moves 3. Oh, man, now I wish I had played with more of these cards. These would have been great. And the thing I like about this is they're just sort of fun. Each hero player bets on the next total villain movement, even or odd. Whoever guesses right gains a token. Gains a wild token. If the villain doesn't move, heroes lose all their action tokens. Wow, betting pool. That's cool. So, yeah, you can see there's a lot of different options here. So I won't go through. I don't want to spoil too many of them for you. But what I might do, maybe I'll chuck him back in and try and use him a bit more in the next game that I play. I think he'd be sort of fun to put on. And what I really like, having seen these cards now and had a look at them properly, I feel like sometimes you play with event decks and they just feel not fun. They're just punishing, and it's just like, ugh, like, not great. And I was worried that's what this was going to be like, but I should have known Deadpool, you know, the way they sort of put together his character, like some of these other mission things and those things, they look pretty fun. So they've really sort of focused on the fun factor with this. And I feel like a lot of those things, they seemed like, you know, there was a little bit of a give and take, you know, nothing too punishing, and it's mostly just sort of fun stuff. So I think this really captures that, and this is a fun sort of random deck that you're going to want to put into your games if you enjoy that sort of stuff. So I could see myself almost like wanting to use him every time, you know, in every game from now on. So because they just seem like a lot of fun. Yeah. So anyway, hope that was worth sticking around to the end of the video for, just to see that. And apologies, we didn't actually use him in the game. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame now. I wish I had done that now that I've seen what those did. But yeah, I'll try and chuck him in the next game we do. So all right, well, thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed that one again. Not sure when the next video, you know, if or when I'll be able to do another video, but you know, I'm really enjoying these, so I'll keep making them, especially whilst the game seem to be taking their time to get to some locations as well. Yeah, if there are any other games, like I'm sort of thinking, I'm getting a little bit better at doing these playthroughs. I feel like, you know, at least entertaining a few people. So if there are other board games out there that you know, you'd like to see, or, you know, see if I can try my hand at, I'm sort of willing to listen to suggestions. You know, of course, whether I've got the game or not is another thing. But yeah, if there's any other types of games you want to see, let me know. I'll have a think about some other games that I might be able to do some playthroughs for as well. Because I'm starting to get my head around a little bit, you know, how to film them and set up the board and that sort of stuff. So yeah, so until the next time, happy gaming, and yeah, hope those games get to you guys soon. In the meantime, I'll keep trying to entertain you here with these games. I'm having a blast. So this is a fantastic game, and I know it's a Kickstarter thing, exclusive sort of CMON. It's sort of a bit hard to get, I think, in the retail market with some of the extra stuff. But yeah, I definitely recommend picking up a copy of this game. It's a fantastic one. So yeah, Maple Monkey out. Catch you next time.